too much, but to be honest, I noticed that my art influences, I mean, with all of us, all of our art influences change over the years. I don't find
Well,
myself
hopefully.
referencing the art styles of like Jim Lee
No.
today.
Mm-mm.
Um, I I I don't think I have. I mean, I think I may have drawn that little extra piece on the abs, I guess. But I noticed that I draw my abs different on every figure that I draw anyway. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like,
Hmm.
my whole torso section changes depending on which comic I've been reading lately. So,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know for me, it's going to be different for me because I'm an inker, so I don't really draw anatomy that much. So whenever I do, it's just either muscle memory or, again, like what you said, whatever I've been reading recently. So,
hmm
um, like, so whenever I draw a torso, I know how to draw a torso on autopilot, but then again, I don't because it's the crappy way that I taught myself how to draw a torso.
Yeah.
I
So,
see.
um, a lot of times it's like doing it that way and then erasing it until it looks better, um, more or less. And there, there's just shorthands that you just kind of fall back on. So for me, it's been trying to like undo those shorthands. It's like, no, actually draw this the way it looks, like not necessarily how it looks in real life, but draw the anatomy as correct as the dynamism will allow.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Now, see, with me, it's a little different, I think, because of the fact that I'm thinking more in the sense of the pose in general. So I stopped thinking about anatomy as much and thinking about the negative space and how the body moves. I know that's been helping me a lot more. I'm not focused on how many muscles I'm drawing in then and how many abs there are there, where the I'm just kind of focused more on the overall shape and the form of the image. So like if I just start off an image,
Mm-hmm.
I start throwing in my shapes and stuff like that. Sometimes I might just kind of do this, and those are legs for right now,
Sure.
and I'm not even tripping off of like putting in the abs here and putting in the chest muscles here because that's not I may not even see that information,
Yeah.
so
But
Hmm.
that's pretty conditional though. So that we're all on the same page. I want you to draw me a torso. Your you know I want your professor has asked you to draw a torso.
okay.
Hmm.
And how would you just draw a torso? Because we know. All right, so uh, we took this a little probably too far, Anthony, and we're recording this. So
Hmm.
so for
Right.
posterity's sake, we're talking about torsos because Anthony made the discovery that the Jim Lee torso has sort of uh, pushed him in a direction for a number of years, and I can strongly agree with that. And it took us a long time through anatomical studies to realize that it might be okay in some instances, but not all. And I think we tended to err on the side of all.
Hmm.
So, uh, so yeah, we're as artists we try to learn every year, keep learning, never stop learning. But
Hmm.
yeah, so uh, Joe now says that his influences have changed so much that um, it didn't quite stick with him like it stuck with me and Anthony. So
Mainly because rarely do I just draw somebody's. Well, I mean that's not true because I've drawn a lot of commissions where people just kind of standing there,
sure,
but
Hmm.
usually they're in action and in motion.
yeah,
So for them to just be standing in a certain spot, I'm thinking more about how they. I mean, I guess I do still have like this little area here, but most
mm-hmm.
of that is because of the rib cage and those what is it serratus muscles that are there like around this area. So I'm thinking more about that and like the what I learned not even that long ago was that I had been always drawing my pectoral muscles way too small,
Mm.
um, because
Hmm.
they actually are almost half of the torso. Like they're
Hmm.
like way down here, and it took me a long time to start drawing that way. But essentially, once I started doing that, I mean, that area in between the first ab and the bottom of the pectorals, pectoral muscles, just kind of shrunk, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and that, I guess that was just a natural progression. So I've been, again, it's not very often that I'm drawing this particular pose anymore because it's kind of boring to me, but I
Sure.
still have been known to obviously draw it because, we have characters that design challenges and they're just kind of standing there or something like that.
Right.
Um,
Hmm.
things that I've changed the most has been more in the leg muscles and this area here, which is the waist, which I had never really been drawn. And even now, I tend to forget that there's a waist there, and I'll draw the leg all the way connecting to the
Yeah.
obliques.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
I do that all the time, and I always have to put the band there just to be like, there's a waist.
Hmm.
And then I have to erase it. And I notice that everything becomes a little bit more proportional once I do that. But I mean, this is how I would basically draw a torso now, I guess. But I rarely draw him standing up, so maybe I might hunch him over. If I hunch him
Yeah,
over a bit,
Well,
Joe, I
yeah.
can't really see your screen. I don't know if it's Discord or
oh,
whatever.
I'm
There's a. Did you not click on the link?
clicked on
I
the link.
see.
I
Oh,
see Ben drawing. I see Ben drawing, and then I see me drawing on the same.
Yeah. No,
Wait.
I don't think he clicked on the link. He was looking at
Oh,
the
oh, oh! I thought.
the
yeah, I
video
didn't.
call.
No,
Oh, gotcha,
that's
gotcha,
that's my
gotcha.
bad. 1 second.
I was like, oh, hold on, I've been drawing this whole time. Do I have to start over?
No, I've got us. I'm recording, so at the very least, you've got mine to work with. But yeah, it's crazy that I'm teaching kids how to do anatomy better. I'm not even going to say correctly, but just better. I'll notice something. I'll be like, hey, that hand should probably look this way, or their arm should be longer, or whatever. And I'm still feel so vastly incompetent with my
I mean,
anatomical
it
skills.
probably is just like that imposter syndrome type situation. It's like you know that you have things that you want to work on, and to say, hey, you know, this is how to do it. You're like, well, I'm still, still working on some stuff myself. So
Yeah.
Hmm.
I know that's how I am about. I was going to. I talk about it every time I'm on a stream or anything like that. People are like, "Where is it?" But I was gonna do the whole dynamic page, drawing a dynamic comic page,
Yeah.
and I've gotten compliments on the layouts of some of the pages that I've done before from people that I respect. Most of them are in this in this room right now. But like other people in the industry who've been like, that's a really cool page, like that. And I'm like, cool. I'm getting that validation. So I'm like, okay, maybe I can show somebody else how to do this because you're always trying to find. I don't want to call it a hustle, but you're always trying to find that way to kind of build an audience and to give value to other people.
Yeah.
And then you have to think about like, what do I know that I could actually share? What do I know well enough
Yeah.
that I can actually share with somebody else? And
Hmm.
and you kind of
And
only
not
go
feel
off
like
the
an
things.
imposter.
Right, exactly. You can only kind of go off the things that you've been complimented on. Because if it's something that people are like, I don't know if I like it when you do X, Y, Z, you probably should teach that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
you know? So it's just one of those type of situations. So this is something that I feel like I kind of excel at. I wouldn't try to teach anybody how to draw buildings in perspective or mechs or anything crazy like that because I know that's not my forte. But if they ask me how to draw like a cool character, or if they have how to draw like a good page layout with storytelling and leading your eye around the page, and having your splash panel and having something cool to draw your eye to it, I can kind of speak to that a little bit more.
Hmm. Yeah. So I mean, for me, it's as I said before, it's something that because my focus is not really with how do you say um I'm not the layout guy. Let's put it like that, and that is a weakness of mine. That is something I'm trying to fix.
Do you feel
But because
do you feel like you could
it,
do bare basics like 5 stacked panels? You think you could just like, you know what I mean, like almost storyboards? You think you could do that?
I
Or
mean, yeah,
okay, so
but it's just
you
my
don't you
mind doesn't go that way, and I try to make it, and it's something where it's like, yeah, you just have to like do it, but it's not eh, it's not something that I typically have to worry about. But I'm trying to build up that skill because it is a skill in my opinion.
oh yeah.
Um, and building up that skill is it takes time, and when you're trying to oh build your career over here as an inker, well, it's like it's like start and stop because you try to work on this anatomy stuff, and it's like, oh, I got this job over here, or oh, I want to ink this sample page, or
Mm-hmm.
oh, I want to make this print, or
Yeah.
you just get this very distracting. So it's like I was going to do this, but squirrel.
Right. No, I get that. I can definitely see that. And I mean, I don't know. Maybe we all kind of have, something like that where, we get distracted. There's things that we know we need to work on or want to work on, and it's like, but I need to focus on making some money. like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, I know this is important to know, but it's not preventing me to get money right now. So let me, or
Exactly.
it's not preventing me to complete this project. So let me just complete this project, and I'll deal with that at a later date.
yeah.
Yeah. I do want to talk about what we were talking about just before we got on the call, which is
Yeah,
some Illustrata shit. And it's always better for me to talk to you when you can hear my voice
yeah,
because we're both very passionate texters. So, and but yeah. So for those listening, we say the word Illustrata once every 6 months. So it's never publicly. I mean, so it's never become a thing. But
I
we
say it all the
I
time,
know you do. You're king push over here.
and I
Um,
literally try to get everybody to like,
yeah.
come on, guys.
Um, so it's a little group of us in well, it used to be St. Louis that we just try to we talk to each other, we help each other out, we share our work, we give feedback, give each other work sometimes, and uh, we always had this fantasy of it being something else, sort of like what's that studio that we love talking about?
Raid,
Raid.
Raid.
Studio.
Yeah, where it's a bunch of working professionals in a single brick and mortar. Um, which I wonder what they're doing these days, right?
I
Uh,
keep up with them. Francis Manifold still. I mean, everybody's still working, obviously, but they're still like together. One of the guys, man, I can't remember his name now off the top of my head, but he gave me his card because I told him that I wanted to do a documentary similar to theirs.
mhm.
When I met him at the, I can't remember what Comic Con it was. I think it was like Chicago or something like that. And he gave me his card. It's like, yeah, man, let me know when you get that done. I'd love to see it. And that was like years ago, so that's
Sure.
I'm sure he forgot who I was.
Yeah, can't re-ring that bell.
Right,
Yeah.
So, but uh, Joe has said on many occasions that it's what I wouldn't say depressing, but disappointing,
Frustrating.
frustrating.
It's
Yeah,
frustrating.
yeah.
Frustrating. Mainly just because trying to get everybody together at the same time. Like even today, we had this conversation in the group chat. It wasn't like it was a private affair or anything like that. But the
What?
fact that it was only like two people kind of involved, other than me, there was only two people involved in the conversation. Not saying that everybody has to join in on every conversation. It's just the fact that, sometimes I want like a kind of a group discussion. We do get that every once in a while,
Yeah,
but it's never a situation where we like, hey, we like this discussion. It was a really good discussion. Everybody's involved. Let's take it to a video chat. Let's
yeah.
take it to a voice chat, or basically like we did tonight, where it's like, we like this. Let's talk
Let's
about it
get in on it.
more.
Yep.
Let's get in on it. And I've been talking about this YouTube channel called Drawfee for the longest time. and I just thought it'd be super fun to do. And I watch it like almost literally every day. I mean, they don't even post every day, but I still end up watching it every day. Where they have these drawing prompts. They're like, all right, we're gonna do our pokey personas or something like that, or
Yeah.
we're gonna mash up two video games, whatever, that kind of thing. It's just fun stuff. And I'm like, man, we could do that
Yeah.
and be on YouTube doing that, have fun, and still be, gaining viewers, still be,
Yeah.
being visual or being, in the social media, limelight, so people could see our artwork and stuff like that, so
Yeah.
they can come and like ask for commissions and stuff. It just seemed like a win-win, but we could just never get that time together. And when we do, only two or three people show up out
Yeah.
of like six or seven. So that, yeah, it just gets frustrating. So I'm
Yeah.
like, all right,
So I wanted
I'm
to
done.
address my point, uh, which I feel, and I feel like maybe it was always in my head, but every time you got frustrated in the past, it always just like, I don't know, it always hit me in the gut. I'm like, I know why you're frustrated. I get it. But tonight, I was like, hey, look, like, that's really condescending. Joe, listen. No. But like, everybody in Illustrata isn't quite like at the top of where we want to be artistically, right? We all want to be, you know, quite a few steps further. You know, Ellis is killing it making storyboards. Um, I know that's not what he intended originally, but I think he's doing pretty well, and I think he's pretty happy with it at this point. He's working with some pretty high caliber clients. And all of us are sort of pinging around, working with people that are like, it's almost there. You know what I mean? We're all on the tertiary, on the perimeter. So when you look at people like, even people that we're closer to, David Finch and Zach Howard, and forgive me, Anthony, but I can't think of the names, but you've been,
Jay Lice.
yeah, like you've been over at people's houses and exchanging artwork with some like incredible people,
Yeah.
but they have probably, well, I don't know, comic book professionals are wicked busy, but they have like, I feel like everybody else has more time than us. Especially, I mean, I have a lot of time now because Butcher Queen's done, and I feel like I've slaughtered the gorilla on my back, and he's gone now. But I feel like everybody's got more time than me, and I just assume everybody's got more time than us collectively. So to like put energy into something to make it more than it is just feels like a commodity none of us have. We all have other jobs. We all have home lives or girlfriends, and or whatever, or both. Yeah, I know we all have both.
I'm joking.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you mean. Side piece, third piece, whatever.
Wow.
But
Right. I'm like, what?
that's it. Radio edits.
It's like, where are we going?
But so I think the energy it would take for us to dedicate time to Illustrata it's never quite felt important enough, especially when some of us like scrape to make the bills and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, how much time can you put into a free thing when you literally have no capital? When you've got money laying around and you got, oh, what am I going to do today? Yeah, I'm going to put it into a thing I believe in, and I'm going to try to make it real. But when like you're doing $100 commissions, $50 commissions because you're out of money and you're just like, hey, name your own price. $50? All right, let's do this. So you're just trying to fill the coffers. I just feel like Illustrata has never quite been attainable for that reason. Am I wrong?
I mean, no, you're not wrong. I just think that it comes down to what we're trying to do compared to what, like, okay. Honestly, I just think when it comes down to our time and everything, all of us have more than enough time. Most of us have a lot more time than what I mean, time management is like a big deal, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think we have the time because I mean, how often do you sit and just play video games? Like,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and not saying that you have to forfeit your time, your entertainment time for Illustrata stuff. I'm just saying that I think that there's a way to allocate that properly, even if it was just like 1 hour a week. That wouldn't be like a big issue,
Yeah.
like 1 hour or even 30 minutes. Not even to be as ambitious as 1 hour, but like 30 minutes in a week. Like for instance, today I got off work. I get off work at 5. My son wants to hang out. He's in Florida. We do video call. We play together as as a way of our hanging out. We basically play Fortnite because that's how we communicate. We can talk. We can hang out. Do something fun. That way, we're just not like staring at each other on the video call.
Yeah.
So we do that. I mean, we're still on the video call. We do that for like maybe an hour and a half. He has to go to dinner, bedtime, that kind of thing. After that, I have the entire night where I'm either working on a project that I say that I'm working on the project, but honestly, the TV is on, so I'm probably more watching TV than actually working on the project. And if I had actually like allocated time to work on that project, allocated some time to watch TV, allocated some time to hang out with, my girlfriend, and there's more than enough time there to do other stuff. Hence the reason why I try to do the YouTube channel, but obviously I've been slacking on that. So it's like
Yeah.
it's more about time management than not having the time because everybody has the same 24 hours, but they get way more done. So how are they doing it? It's just about prioritizing what you feel you want to put your energy into. And that's why I get not necessarily upset, but I get frustrated because I know that you're putting your time into where you want to put your
Sure.
time. So if you don't want to put your time into the group, then it shows because the group is kind of just like kind of sparsely every once in a while tossing a text in there like,
Yeah.
hey, this is what I'm working on
Yeah.
after a few days of no talking.
Hmm.
That kind of thing. So there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not like you know upset with individual people for not participating more. I'm just saying that it's that as a group, I feel that we could do something a lot more if we wanted to. But again, there's other issues involved in that because the reason why people check out is because there's too many chefs. There's no delegation of duties. People get frustrated. People don't like other people's aesthetic. If you do something and Brian doesn't like it, or if Anthony does something and Ellis doesn't like it, or if
Yeah.
I do something and you don't like it, and then like who's the final say so
Right.
in all of
Yeah.
those situations. So it's either all right,
And
I'm out. I don't want
some
to deal
people
with this
have
stress.
different levels of tolerance for that stuff too. Obviously.
Exactly.
Right.
Me has got my level of tolerance has gotten super low for
Yeah.
it because I see it going around in circles. Like the whole logo thing. We've gone around in circles with this logo thing for like the whole time we've been Illustrata.
And over that whole logo thing, we more or less lost a member. Um,
Seriously, yeah. I mean, yeah, we literally somebody and I don't know if it's even I don't know where this is going, so I don't want to say people's names and stuff like that.
No,
But
probably not.
essentially, yeah, essentially, I see them. I mean, I well, rarely get the chance to talk to them because but sometimes I see them walking around in the building. Other times see them at work, and I'm talking about two different people, and they know who they are if they're listening or
Sure.
watching or whatever the case is. But
It's a good chance they will.
we're all still friends and we all are still cool. It's just that I get it. I get where they're like, nah, I'm good. I'm like, I'm doing my own thing. I'm actually way happier because of it. That kind of thing.
Okay, I
Which,
understand that. I
you know,
understand that. If they
yeah.
went their own direction and then like that formed better pathways and they're happy for it, then awesome. I don't actually understand leaving because of our logo dispute. That seems
it was,
very.
it sounds petty. Yeah. But
I didn't even want to put a word to it. I just don't get it. But
no,
yeah.
I'm seeing it from, both perspectives. I've gotten the full rundown of the situation from the people that were involved,
Hmm.
and I totally get it. It was more of an underlying issue, more so than that particular one argument. It was about the fact that it was a systemic thing of we come to a conclusion, we like something, and then if one person raises a finger like actually it totally throws everything, all the work that we did for X amount of time, days, weeks, months, however long, out the window
Mm-hmm.
for that one situation, and that's frustrating. It's
Sure.
really frustrating.
Hmm.
Or if you feel that your opinion is either devalued or just totally not valued at all, because it's just totally ignored. And that was more of the situation with one of those situations, or one of those
Yeah.
people. They came up with ideas. People were like, "Yeah," and then they just moved on, and it wasn't even considered. And it was like, "What?" You know. So you know,
Yeah,
there's
I mean, I think as far as that, um, I would say uh, with all the controversy that I think we all have a degree of ego, um, because even if in our own heads we don't think very much of ourselves, we value our own opinions very highly. So, and that's not to put anyone down, because I'm definitely including myself in that. Or even if you disagree with what I'm saying, that's fine too. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that um, ego is it's just kind of a fact, because I think everyone has their own approach to what they think Illustrata should be,
Yeah.
or what our philosophy is, what our point is, why we even do this in the first place. That has been, like, to this day, other than us being artists who originate from St. Louis, who know each other and we're friends, I don't know what the point of Illustrata is.
Yeah, I was just
Um,
as that sentence was coming together, I knew what you were gonna say. Yeah,
yeah,
you're right. Well, like I said, we started off with these huge grand ideas of being a brick and mortar studio where we all work together, but I think that largely depended on us becoming working professionals more quickly. We've all been at this a very long time. We've all
yeah,
probably known each other for at least 10 years, something like that. Through like
that's weird, isn't
yeah, but like
it?
through like Ink and Drink or whatever.
Yeah,
has it been
So
that long?
well, more than
Really?
five,
it.
more than five, less than 10. How about that? So I know
Sure.
that's a big window, but
I mean, I wasn't gonna like pull the thread, but I was just saying, man, that's a long time.
well, I know I've been working for Jim for 10 years, and that was Ink and Drink. So
Yeah,
it's close. It's in there. So I'd say it's definitely more than five. Obviously,
Hmm.
yeah. Anyway, so we had this fantasy of being a brick and mortar, and we're all be working professionals, and we're all paying the bills and stuff like that. But we're all doing other things to pay the bills. I'm teaching and training, and you guys are off doing your own things and careers and all that
Totally
stuff. And,
unart related
yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
exactly. Um, so that's not exactly, hey, let's make a thing out of this. But then over the years it became pretty undefined because brick and mortar is not a priority. So like, what would a priority be? And then with yeah, let's talk about it. What could it be? What's the 2021 version of Illustrata?
I mean, we kind of started a little bit of doing some stuff. I know when it comes to projects that we've been working on, it's like, hey, can you help me with this? Hey, can you
Yeah,
help me
I
with
feel
that?
like we've been doing that a lot lately.
And I really enjoy, even though I haven't been able to actually participate, to be honest. I really enjoy that portion of it, just like the whole idea that we're all working towards one goal. And maybe that's the aspect of it that I was really enjoying, is the fact that we're all working towards one project or one end goal. Even if it was, not necessarily something that was going to have everybody's name on it, but it was just, I liked the collaboration, and I'm hoping to see more collaboration over the course of 2021 eventually. I mean, if we, like I said, if we can just kind of see eye to eye on anything almost, that would be great.
Well, I think to the eye to eye thing, I think maybe part of the reason the logo took as many transformations as it did is there was no one authoritarian authority when it comes to logo, so everybody was throwing spaghetti against the wall together. It's like there's all the chefs were all in the kitchen and we were all making spaghetti.
I was trying to make
wasn't even a
macaroni.
proper wasn't even a proper kitchen.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Like Anthony said, some of us was making macaroni and fettuccine, and everybody's like, "Wait, dude, you can't use that. That's not spaghetti." Oh, y'all making spaghetti?
Hmm.
Well, let me
That's
just
how.
throw my mac and cheese away then.
Right. I guess you don't want any of this then.
Right.
It's like, it's like, and you know what? Just for that, I don't feel like being in this conversation no
Yep.
Hmm.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So, you know,
All right. So, hmm. Well, I had my Twitch YouTube push a while ago. See, my last Twitch follower was 6 months ago. um, and I think I stopped streaming even before then. And I was putting up a lot of YouTube stuff at least once a week.
yeah, and
And I
when it
just
comes
yeah.
to your YouTube, I wanted to talk to you about that, but we can talk about that in a minute.
No, I'm always down for reformatting. It was a thing. It was a phase, and I'm
Yeah.
always willing to reformat it. And as a teacher and all that stuff, I've always got stuff to say. And if I can use my YouTube as that part of that platform, and then when it comes to Illustrata, if we can find a way to reach other people through Illustrata, or even if say we reach people through our own platforms as Joe Wills or whatever,
Mhm.
and then it just happens to be a part of Illustrata or something. I don't know. I don't know.
That's essentially what I've been trying to push is, everybody having their own platform, everybody having their own, YouTube channel. We don't have to have an Illustrata channel. We don't have to have a catch-all spot because one of the main issues that we came up with was the fact that who's going to manage it, who's
Yep.
going to do this,
Yep.
if it's monetized, how does the money get distributed, all this other stuff. That's all way too complicated and way past where we need to be. If we can just have our own platforms, but just say, hey, Joe Wills of Illustrata, blah blah blah, blah.
Yeah.
Brian Atkins, of Illustrata, blah blah blah. And if people ask about what Illustrata is, then we actually have something to say. This is what we are, but we don't even know that part yet.
Yeah. Well, I gotta
So
ask you, what's the motivating factor? Like, you say Illustrata because you want it to be a thing, uh,
yeah,
and you, but what is Brian's motivation? Well, Brian's doesn't seem to be the type to make a YouTube video, but let's say he did. What would be his motivation to say Illustrata, other than maybe that fact that Joe asked him to? But you know what I mean? Like, what's
I get it.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely. See, my whole thing is building the brand up so we can have a following as a group, and your following, like, say for instance, you end up with 20,000 viewers, or even your Twitch channel. Like,
mm,
your Twitch channel is not just an advertisement for your art, but it's also an advertisement for the group's art. Like, we all are there in one shape, like a shape, in one shape, form, or fashion. So, at the end of it, you don't necessarily have to have Illustrated throughout the entire,
yeah, but somewhere.
stream, but somewhere in there, it's like, hey, you know what? Even better. I'm trying to get my thoughts together at the
Yeah,
same
no, I
time
get
I'm
it.
talking.
I get it.
So, have you ever heard of Saturday AM?
No.
Okay, it's basically the more diverse version of Shonen Jump. It's I want to say black owned, but it may not even be black owned. But it has a ton of people from different races who are creating manga from different cultures, different areas of the world, and they're becoming a big thing. They have their own magazine. They have Saturday AM, Saturday PM. They got anime that's going to be coming out pretty soon.
Wow.
This guy, White Manga, he has a YouTube channel, and he talks all the time. He gives tons and tons of different cool advice about art and comics and manga, whatever you want, however you want to pronounce it,
Sure.
all the time. And they have a group of artists that have their own titles. They just did a big crossover event, or they're doing a crossover event that's kind of like their Infinity War, where all of their titles are coming together to fight this one big, bad thing, or whatever the case is. their universes don't cross except for in this one title, so they're not beholden to any rules from the previous, from the people that are making stories. So like my Children of Ragnarok and your Butcher Queen comics somehow in this one comic come together, like the main characters of that comic come together to do something substantial, and
Yeah.
then they go back to their own universes. But even if it's something as fleeting as just one story where we're all together and then we go back to our own universes to do our own thing, like the idea that they promote everyone at the same time, they're
Yeah.
all in the same book, you know and in this case they're all in the same book, but we wouldn't even have to go that route even if we had individual issues of whatever comic that we're working on.
Hmm.
Final Street, Children of Ragnarok, Butcher Queen, or whatever other project that you work on outside of Butcher Queen, because I know that that's done and over with, but
Yes, Lord.
you know whatever you decide to come up with outside of that, it's under, and I hate to use image as a template, but it's like under the same kind of banner, label, whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
So, and when you say, for instance, oh man, I can't get this page right, you have other artists that can help walk you through like a page layout. If
Hmm.
I'm trying to have some coloring done, but I just can't get it out before the book is supposed to be done. Hey Ben, what are you working on? Are you working on anything? Here
Yeah.
we got colorists. It's like we need inkers.
Shit.
You know
Maybe we
that
do need a few more people in Illustrata. So
and
we
see
actually
that
have an actual safety net.
yeah, and it
Yeah.
would be great to have that type of interaction with each other where it's not an issue. It's like, oh yeah, dude, a 5-page fill in, blah blah blah, I can do that,
Hmm.
no problem. Or even if we're all working on our own things and we're too busy, at least we have like resources to do other stuff, if to get to other places. Once we get to a point where we have like a large group, even if we're not bringing in like every single person that we know into Illustrata, because
Right.
I don't want to do that either.
No.
I don't want to turn into another like ink and drink type
Right.
situation.
Come one, come
Nothing
all.
against, you're right, nothing against ink
Yeah.
and drink,
Yeah.
because I'm just still
Humbled
do stories with ink
masses.
and drink. It's just I want it to be a little bit more.
Ink and Drink really is the Statue of Liberty for St. Louis, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
artists that are in the industry right now from St. Louis, kind of had their little stint through Ink and Drink, or
Hmm.
people that even most of the people here in Illustrata are kind of met and kind of cut their teeth
Yep.
in Ink and Drink. So I mean,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I owe Ink and Drink a lot. I mean, because most of the people wouldn't even know my art if it wasn't for Ink and Drink.
Sure.
'Cause, you know,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's basically that whole situation. But I mean, I just want to be, kind of elite, kind of like a crew, like a cool little crew of elite artists that have their own little cool little niche style. Everybody is,
All
you
right.
know,
Elite. Elite.
yeah,
Elite means support. Right?
yeah.
What else? Elite
mean,
means quality output, right?
Quality output, support. I mean, I don't want to be like, exclusive just for the sake of being exclusive. I don't want to
No,
like
but
be like
I can
that.
kind of get behind that though. The only reason we work is because we're so tight. You get some rando floating around here, like, I don't know. It's just not quite so personal anymore. But anytime any Illustrata member can be like, yo, let's go get some pizza, be like, yes, of course.
Right.
That's because we've known each other for so long. So, yeah. So, tight. I'll write that down. But we can call it inclusive, or is that exclusive? What am I trying to say? Exclusive? Yeah.
Exclusive,
Yeah. And then we want to be a brand. But, that's going to mean different things year by year. Well, let's say 2021 is the year we get our shit together. But, at what point will that brand become recognizable? It's be a while, but I don't know. I'm excited about my output for 2021. I've got a lot of things that I'm going to do under my own name. and I would be extremely proud to put Illustrata on it. You know, I'm gonna finish my Wipeout short story. I've got another one. Remember Fat Ninja? Remember that guy?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna do a little Fat Ninja short story. I'm gonna do something with Caleb.
Nice.
You know, because between school and For Molly, like, I'll be kind of taken care of for a while, and so I'll have time to maybe do some stuff at night. Get online and do some stuff at night, stream, make some short stories. I would like to also experiment with non-traditional storytelling, either with the mediums or with the method, like webcomics or virtual or something interactive if I could figure it out.
I've been playing with 3D because I really want. I like this is my goal for 2021 is to learn ZBrush and or Blender so I
Nice.
can make a 3D model of my main characters for the story and print them on a 3D printer and have a model of them. I really want that. Raf, crap, what is his last name? Anyway, he's the one who designed Kratos. Um,
Mm.
for God of War, or
Mm-hmm.
he 3D designed Kratos. I don't know if he actually drew or like created him, like painted him or whatever the case is. But anyway,
He was the
I
modeler.
he's the modeler, right? He's super famous for his character, his 3D character designs. Super famous for that. He may have actually already painted him also, because I think he did paint him. As a matter of fact, I think he 3D modeled him and then used a 3D model to paint the concept art for it, or something like that. Anyway, I would have to do my fact checking on that. But bottom line is, he also created this dope, highly detailed Yoshimitsu
Mm-hmm.
statue. It's like, I don't know, maybe a foot, almost a foot and a half tall, that he 3D printed himself. He created it, designed it, put it, printed it out, and painted that bad boy. And I'm like, that's what I want to do. I want
That's
to do that.
yeah, that's pretty incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since I've seen that and had been following him, I jumped on a live stream. He was on not that long ago. He did a live stream when he had gotten a new 3D printer, and I felt like I was having like a real conversation with him, even though it was like maybe a very short interaction that, you
Sure.
know, it's one of those type of situations. Like, he talked to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I've been
he,
blessed.
right. He acknowledged my existence. Oh my God, that kind of thing. Because there was a certain thing that was going on. Like, there was some plastic on the new thing, and we were trying to tell him, "Hey, there's plastic on this," and he's like, "I don't think there's any plastic on this, guy. It's just brand new." Blah blah blah. And I'm like, "Oh, you have to pull it from the corner." And he looked. He's like, "I have to pull it from the corner." And he went over and he pulled from the corner. He's like, "There you go, thanks, Joe." And I was like, "Oh, he said my name." you know,
Yep.
like just like little things like that. I'm like, man, dude, it just like validates my existence altogether. but uh, but yeah, just the idea that I was able to be on a stream. I feel like I can tap him on the shoulder if I have any questions about 3D, printing or even 3D design and stuff like that. He's got courses also, which is cool. And obviously they're really expensive, so I'm like, I want to support, but I'm like, ooh, that's a lot. Um, it's one of those situations, but I do want to do that. I want to have a what is that? ETA is
We can
is
keep going. I'm going to stop the recording in an hour.
uh,
So
I got you,
yeah.
no problem. But yeah, it's one of those things where that's one of the goals that I want. My girlfriend, every time I have a video of 3D printer, she's giving me this side eye, like, we don't have space or any more devices in this house. Like, I just got a pressure cooker and like a just an air fryer. She's like, where are you put? There's no space for this. You do know we're in an apartment, right? We're like, it's not a house. We don't have storage.
Have you guys moved to a bigger unit yet in the building?
No,
Okay.
no. They keep going up on the rent. I don't even know if I can afford it, even if I really wanted to.
Right.
Be honest, so if I move to a different unit, um, it would probably almost double the rent nowadays. So
Sheesh.
I can't take care of that. But I mean, I am up for promotion, so we'll see. We'll see.
Nice.
I'm supposed to find out on Monday, so we'll see.
Monday.
Yeah.
Or
Awesome.
I was hoping to find out today, but
Mhm.
they said we'd find out by by the beginning of this week, but I don't know if it was, somebody said it was because it was a lot of applicants, and on top of that, it was very close. I hate hearing that. Anytime I hear, like, even on a reality show when they're like, "Yeah, this was a hard decision, it was really close," it means that nobody stood out enough.
Perhaps.
You know,
Oh, not necessarily. That's
well, no,
defeatist.
that's
The-
literal. No, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I mean, we could have all not stood
what,
out
what
because
if everybody
we're all
stood out,
really
Joe?
right. If everybody stood out,
Everybody's special.
then no one is. You know,
Well,
the
it could
stigma.
also be that there's a lot of factors to consider. You know, not
Well, yeah.
necessarily that no one stood out, and it could be it's like, well, you know, we could choose this person because they have this quality, or this person has a totally different quality, but that could work in this way. You know,
Well, see,
doesn't mean that they not
that's the
standing
same.
out.
That's the same thing. When I say doesn't, they didn't, there wasn't a clear winner. If there isn't a clear winner, that means that everything, even though they take everything into account. Say, for instance, you know, it's just like EQing music. You know, you know, you got your bass, your mids, and your trebles. If your bass is high but your treble's low, or your mids are high and your bass and treble are low, you know, they take it into account and do an average. But if you do an average and somebody's just like far away and above, then it's easy stuff. You know, it's like, oh yeah, easily. They have high everything, you know. All
Mhm.
three of these metrics are high. But if everybody has all three of these metrics and all of them are high, then at 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 what point do you split hairs at that? You know, there's
Sure.
no there's no clear winner. If there's no clear winner, then nobody stood out enough. This is what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Yeah, understood.
Hmm.
Yeah. Uh, I guess what I wanted to get into was what I'm trying to do in 2021,
Yes.
and I don't know. I've been trying different things. Just been uh, kind of discussing a few things with with my new friend Dwayne,
Johnson?
and no, his name's Dwayne Perry.
Oh,
So um, it'd be nice if it was Dwayne Johnson. That'd be awesome.
You're
But,
making tequila now? This is awesome.
it's like yeah, but uh, no, basically I'm trying to get better at the marketing
Mm.
and kind of conquering the social media marketing kind of thing. Um, because there's certain artists that I try to emulate, not just in art, but in what they're doing and what their level is. I see how many followers they have, and it's not really about followers or likes or whatever, but it's like, okay, what are they doing on the marketing side? How are they gaining all of these followers
Yeah.
if they're doing exactly what I do?
Yeah.
And I only have like 600. So I'm like, okay, well, what I want to do is I want to shoot towards really growing my audience. And one of the tips that I picked up recently was that, okay, what can I give away for free? And that doesn't mean necessarily sending people things in the mail, but what do I give to people to where they feel like they're getting something of value, but they're getting a steal on it because like they're getting it. I'm just giving it away,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
hmm
Yeah, I think I've heard something.
So that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, I've heard something similar to
That's
that.
number one.
Do you watch Chris Doe?
I do not.
Okay, never mind.
I've just been trying to do my own research because I know that like if I get down the rabbit hole of watching too many YouTube videos, then I'll just be watching YouTube videos and never implement anything.
No, the only reason why I asked that is because I think that was something he said almost verbatim. That's why I'm like,
Yeah, I've heard something similar. I think that's just a good piece of advice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. So, I mean, for me, it's because if I want to make money in some kind of way, whether that's selling prints, which is what I'm trying to do right now, you know, if I try to do like the Patreon thing or something else, commissions, whatever, whatnot, then I definitely have to implement that because, and Dwayne explained this to me. He's basically like, you know, I think he got this from Gary V. Ben, I know you're familiar with Gary V.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's like jab, jab, jab. You know.
Yeah, right hook, something like that.
Yeah, right hook. Yeah, yeah. So basically, free, free, free. Hey, can you pay for this?
That's right.
You what you're building up is like
Value proposition.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, that's why I'm
So
doing free webcomics, man. That's why,
yeah.
like, Wipeout's a thing, and I got other plans in the future. I just want to give people free content.
Mm.
Like, you can go to my website and read finished, like, comics. So.
Yeah. So I need something like that, and I've also been trying to develop my own projects. Some of the story ideas that I've had that I would come up with, get really excited about, set it down for a second, come back. This is really stupid, and then throw it away. So I need to stop doing that. But and also I'm just trying to challenge myself in different ways. Like one of the things that I thought about recently was that I was like, okay, well I've been told for years, and I know from experience as well that prints don't sell that well.
Okay.
But I want to make them sell well. I want to find a way to actually make them sell. So because I know, like, I forget the guy's name, but if I give a few more details, you're gonna know who I'm talking about. The print guy who has a big wall of prints at the times. Yeah, I forget his name, but he made. I don't know how he's doing right now. I hope he's doing okay, but he made like a very decent living selling only prints, and they weren't complex prints either. It was like, okay, let me draw half of this face, mirror it, flash. Let me change the colors, reverse flash. Like
wow.
let me change some of these costume details. Now it's Captain America. Just super basic, but it worked, and he made money, and he was able to have a pretty successful living off of it. Now that's not where I want to be. That's not my forte.
It feels like I don't know. It feels like a grift.
Yeah, it's a bit. Yeah, that's definitely a grift. But I want to. I want to sell prints, but I want to sell prints that is like, oh, this is unique from anything else I can get. Number one, and then also this piece is different from this other piece that he also sells within his bailiwick. So I don't want people to get the same, the same thing over and over. That's not the direction I'm trying to go in. But just in the sense of, I know this hasn't worked for me, but how can I make it work for me?
Yeah.
Just going forward. So I'm working on that. I'm gonna try to shoot for growing my audience to 5,000 followers in 2021. That's my goal.
Awesome. That's a great goal. I want that too.
Yeah. So, however I do that, I just need to get there.
Yeah.
Right. That's my answer also.
What he said.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm cheating off of his paper.
Yeah. So and then it's also yes, I am still shooting to get mainstream work, and no, that is not how I want to make the bulk of my money.
Yeah.
But I think that these are two sides of, or at least they can be two sides of the same coin. Is like what I do outside of the page to page comic stuff can feed into getting me comics jobs, and getting notoriety from doing comics work can feed back into whatever stuff I do on the side, selling prints, commissions, whatever, whatnot.
Yeah.
Working them synergistically is the, because I think for me, working in comics was an end unto itself. But now I'm more so thinking of, okay, this is a means to an end, because I've known for years that you can't live off of this.
Right.
So what else can you do?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's the tricky part, man. I think about that all the time, like a lot. And I probably voiced that complaint probably a little bit too much, because people probably take notes. But
I don't think about that much at all. And I don't. Maybe it's because like we all have regular jobs right now, but maybe that's the reason why I don't think about it as much, because like I have a steady paycheck, and I'm like, okay, I can deal with doing this part time as a not a hobby, I guess, but I mean like as a secondary, tertiary career, I guess.
Yeah.
I know that it hasn't brought me enough money to quit my regular job, so it's like a situation of I'm okay with that for right now. I'm like at peace with that, I guess.
Sure.
Um, and I mean, do I want to continue to do what I do for my day job like forever? No. I mean, and they don't. What's funny is they see my artwork and they're like, "Why are you here?" It's like,
Hmm.
it's like if I had whatever talent that you had, dude, I would not be working here.
Well, plain and
And
simple, why you are here is why you are there. Like it's sort of it's a self fulfilling. Like
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
right,
I'm there because of this.
yeah,
I'm here because of this.
right,
you know.
yeah,
So,
Hmm.
and honestly, if this made more money, then I wouldn't need it. But
right.
and that's not probably something you should say on online when you're going for promotion at the job.
Yeah. Might want to avoid that one.
But I mean, no, but they all know that that this is my passion, and obviously, you know helping people is also my passion. You can have more than one passion. It's not like a big deal.
Yeah.
uh,
Hmm.
you know. But I
Just don't say that to your wife.
not right, right. But it's like I enjoy helping and I also enjoy creating. And the best of both worlds would be a mixture of the two. But if I can't, then I have to get them in separate quantities in separate places. So it's no big deal. I just, and honestly, occasionally I do get to do some art when I'm at work. And plus, I get a lot of commissions from them too. I just got two commissions, as a matter of fact, just recently.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was fairly substantial amount too. So it's like, eh, one is really kind of fueling the other, and vice versa. So I mean, it works itself out.
So I want Daniel Warren Johnson's life because he went from Wonder Woman, now he's doing Beta Ray Bill, and he's writing and drawing it with his
Nice.
with Mark, what's his name, Spicer, Matthew Spicer, as his colorist, because that's his guy. So and I think he only does 12 commissions a year, which means I think they're probably like $1,000 each, if I had to guess, because I did try contacting him for Butcher Queen, but we never got to the point of talking numbers. I'm just guessing though, and I've also talked to really high profile artists and what they charge for commissions, so I think it's around there, and he only does 12 a year, so that's one a month, which is pretty incredible, and then he does about a book a month, a year, because Dead Orbit was like mid last year to mid this year, or Dead Earth, I mean, and now he's working on Beta Ray. So I kind of want to write and draw my own stuff, and I want to do very few commissions, but big, huge, fat commissions that take a month to do. That sounds like a lot of fun, or 3 weeks,
I
Um,
see you as more of a how do I call boutique artist, like artist that does artwork and like puts it up for auction for like the rarity of it. You know? Like
okay,
there's a have you ever heard of 1000?
it sounds familiar, but I've lost it.
Right now he's a YouTube well, he's a YouTuber, but he is a I want to say graffiti artist, but he's not. He's done board work, and he does a lot of commissioned tagger art, like murals and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's super famous in that world of like kind of exclusive, one of a kind. I'm gonna go to the thrift shop and do some art on a old shoe and
Awesome.
sell it for $600 type of situation. That's what you strike me as being like. If you could do that, like somehow like put that as part of your business model, I think you would do well at that.
Well, I'm gonna ask you more about that offline. That sounds very interesting to me.
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. I'll give you
Um,
his YouTube channel. He's hilarious also.
my
And does
recording's at about an hour, so for the sake of the YouTubes, why don't you guys do a quick shout out where you want to send people, and then
yeah. Go
I'll
ahead,
have links in the comments. So
Anthony. You can go first.
Oh, thank you. Well, um, Well, my website is very simple. It's afowlerart.com. I'm on all the socials. Well, all the socials being Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter as A Fowler Art. So that's pretty easy. Also, I'm selling a print of a tribute to Chadwick Boseman. It is on Etsy. So my Etsy store is also A Fowler Art.
Groovy.
So, yeah, that's it.
All right.
Nice. I am Joe Will's Art, and you can find me on
Sheesh.
Joe's Will's Art everywhere.
I don't
And
have
that
art anywhere in my names. Do people know I do art?
is JoeWillsArt. I will get that off of your artwork in just a moment. But Joe Will's Art, that's WILLS, not WILLIS, which I had to correct somebody on that earlier today.
Mm.
But Joe Will's Art in Google will take you to all of my socials, every single thing that I have.
Nice.
So I tried to make sure I grabbed all of that. JoeWillsArt.com is the website. Joe Will's Art at Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff. It's all there.
Awesome. Well, we didn't talk about abs at all. But maybe we'll start our next one talking about abs and then divulge into something else completely.
Right.
Anyway.
I'm down for that.
Or maybe we'll end talking about abs on the next one.
All right. Well, we can keep talking, but I'm going to do a sign off. So thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll maybe see you on the next one.
Yep. Peace out.
All right.
All right.
See you.